We're halfway through the year, and what a year it's been already for PS5. But that's not to say that the best is behind us, no, because 2024 still has plenty in store for PlayStation players, and I'm here to break down 31 of the games that are still making their way to PS5 in 2024. Hello there everyone, it's Aidan here from Push Square, and just before we get started, some of the games have a potential to be delayed, but as of June 2024 they're all correct. I just gotta cover my back here. But let's fire through these games, shall we? The First Descendants is being labelled as a next-gen, third-person, co-op action RPG looter shooter with high-quality graphics created in Unreal Engine 5. That's quite the mouthful, but perhaps this long-awaited title from Nexon will be worth the wait after some betas over the last year or so. This is a big, bombastic sci-fi with massive boss fights and characters with unique abilities along with free-flowing movement. We'll finally be able to put it all to the test when it launches as a free-to-play game on PS5 on July 2nd. Finally launching on July 4th, Zenless Zone Zero, the latest gacha game from Hoyoverse, will ensure that you never need to play another game ever again as it thrusts you into its post-apocalyptic world and the last city of civilization called New Eridu. You will immerse yourselves in the characters of New Eridu, whilst also venturing out into the dangerous hollows with your band of recruited characters to solve mysteries and gather resources. Flintlock, The Siege of Dawn has a simple mission for you. Kill all gods. The gateway to hell, or the Great Below as it's called here, has opened, and it's up to you, Norvanek, an elite member of the Coalition Army, to take the fight to the gods and their armies of the dead. This is from indie studio A44 Games, developers of Ashen if you've played that one, and here we have another take on the open world Souls-like with explosive rhythmic combat enhanced by a mysterious magical fox called Enki. It's coming to PS5 on July 18th. Black Myth Wukong is what we would call a Souls-adjacent fighter, whereas Wukong, a legendary monkey warrior, you will traverse a land steeped in Chinese mythology to take on a power of animal-based demons. We managed to get some hands-on time with this one at Summer Game Fest, and we came away very impressed. Combat's tight, graphics are phenomenal, and it seems like this is the video game adaptation of the Journey to the West storyline that it truly deserves. It's coming to PS5 on August 20th. The first of Sony's first-party live service efforts is launching on August 23rd on PS5 and PC. Not exactly what a lot of people expected, but this is a 5v5 first-person hero shooter, which is aptly being dubbed Guardians of the Galaxy meets Overwatch. It's developed by Firewalk Studio, a new team made up of Bungie, Respawn Entertainment and Raven Software devs, so hopefully that pedigree translates into this big gamble for Sony. Star Wars Outlaws is the first open-world Star Wars game, which I'm guessing will be enough to convince a lot of you of this day one purchase. Launching on August 30th on PS5, this is a third-person shooter where as Scoundrel K. Vess, you will explore and conquer the underworld of a galaxy far, far away. You will be planet hopping too with space combat, land speeders and your trusty blaster. It's being developed by Massive Entertainment, a team under Ubisoft, and the peeps behind The Division and Avatar Frontiers of Pandora, so fingers crossed this is another successful movie-to-game realisation. Harry Potter Quidditch Champions is what happens if you mix Rocket League with the Wizarding World. At least that's how I see it. Something that really should have been in Hogwarts Legacy, Quidditch lets you play this infamous broom-based sports game with a Disney Dreamlight Valley-like art style. We haven't seen raw gameplay at the time of recording, which is going to be make or break for this game, but hopefully it can get those fly mechanics down by the time it launches on PS4 and 5 on September 3rd. From Team Asobi, Astro Bot is taking the Astro's Playroom platforming experience and blowing it out into a full-sized game. With over 80 levels, you'll cross the PlayStation verse to rescue your crew, who are made up of cutesy little robots and over 150 PlayStation-themed icons, from Kratos to Parappa the Rapper. This is also supposedly expanding the use of the DualSense controller, which was used to outstanding effect in the Playroom. This delightful title is heading to PS5 on September 6th. Big bulky armour, chainsaw swords, hordes of Tyranids, Warhammer 40k Space Marines 2 is an explosive third-person co-op shooter with a brand new campaign set within the Warhammer universe. There is a full 3-player co-op campaign alongside the solo campaign, and there will even be a PvP offering in this one too. I love a co-op shooter, as some of you will know, so I'll be there for sure when this one launches on PS5 on September 9th. Now here is a name that I haven't heard for a while. Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown is coming to PS5 on September 12th, drifting onto the scene with its Hong Kong setting and split clan aesthetics of elite and street racers. This entry is going for the whole high-class killer vehicles vibe and the life of luxury that's associated with them as you compete for the Solar Crown. I like a wee racer, so here's hoping that it can master that high-speed feel and isn't just all about the style. Diablo 4 is set to get its first proper expansion on October 8th with Vessel of Hatred. This is already shaping up to be a pretty big release with a new story to enjoy, a new region in the Hanta to explore, and a brand new class, Spiritborn, which is described as the apex predator of the jungle. There will of course be new mercenaries to fight along, a new endgame co-op activity, and a bunch of updates that will arrive for players even if they don't own the new expansion. From Bloober Team's Silent Hills 2 is a built from the ground up retelling of this PS2 horror classic. James Sunderland heads to the eerie Silent Hill in search of his wife, but of course what awaits is a horrifying mist-veiled experience filled with mystery, intrigue, and some big horrifying dude with a triangle on his head. Here's hoping Bloober Team can recapture the magic when this one launches on PS5 on October 8th. The king is dead, and there's a magic-infused tournament to decide who will next sit upon the throne. It's an interesting premise, and the one that Studio Zero is cooking up with Metaphor ReFantazio, a stunning JRPG from Persona talent. There's a turn-based combat system in here with a blend of real-time action, plenty of dungeons to conquer, relationships to manage, and of course, a time management mechanic. This one is dropping on PS4 and 5 on October 11th. Amazon Games is soft relaunching its MMO New World, now with the Aeternum subtitle, and it's coming to PS5 on October 15th. It's set in an enormous fantasy world, and it's your sort of survive, upgrade, conquer type of game where you wield magic, swords, and guns. This is all about playing your way with customizable playstyles, mounts, resource gathering, and PvE and PvP combat, all in a big co-op MMO which will also feature crossplay. Another year, another Call of Duty. Black Ops 6 is launching on PS4 and 5 on October 25th, bringing that staple triple offering of a new Black Ops campaign, this time set in the 90s, a full multiplayer experience which is utilising a new omnidirectional movement mechanic, and of course zombies, which is a return of round-based zombies and will even feature 2 maps on launch. This is actually the longest a COD developer has had to make one of these games in a while, so hopefully that extra time can be felt in the full release. Sonic X Shadow Generations is a remastered game of the PS3 original, this time with a brand new campaign where Shadow's nemesis Black Doom returns, forcing this anti-hero to delve back into his past and master dangerous new abilities to save the world. This is a linear title with campaigns meeting up classic and modern Sonic to take down Eggman, but there will also be more open hub-like areas inspired by Sonic Frontiers. New and old fans alike will have plenty to dig into when this one drops on PS4 and 5 on October 25th. Here's another blast from the past. Life is Strange Double Exposure is the latest adventure in the cozy supernatural mystery series, but it's actually bringing back original protagonist Max Caulfield. This one is developed by Deck9, who took over from Don't Nod with the excellent True Colours. Double Exposure has upped the visual quality even further, and you just know that I've got to be there when they describe this thing as a supernatural murder mystery. Yeah, that's a day one for me. This one drops on PS5 on October 29th. From the original creator of Silent Hill, we have Slitterhead, a weird third-person hack-and-slash horror game with an interesting body-swapping mechanic and the kind of grotesque, abhorrent creatures that you would expect from a guy like Kiichiro Toyama. This is from the new studio Bokeh Game Studios and will launch on PS5 on November 8th. Assassin's Creed fans are finally getting the setting that they've been dreaming of for years. Assassin's Creed Shadows is taking us to feudal Japan, where you can play as Yasuke, a noble samurai, or Naoe, a stealthy shinobi, and there are some big gameplay differences between the two of them. There seems to be a lot going into this one, like seasons and weather impacting gameplay options, and I for one am ready to lose myself in this big open world. Assassin's Creed Shadows launches on PS5 on November 15th. Okay, so we're now moving on to games that have tentative 2024 release windows, so we don't have concrete release dates just yet. Alien Rogue Incursions is a PSVR 2 title that will fully immerse players in this iconic sci-fi universe with scanners and pulse rifles in hand. With an original story, this game is said to be developed by Alien fans for Alien fans, which is a sentence that definitely does the trick for me. We haven't seen much gameplay wise, so I am keen to know a bit more about it, but an Alien VR game is like my dream and nightmare idea of a VR title. It's set for a 2024 release date, but we don't know for sure past that. Dragon Age the Veilguard is what everyone is hoping will be BioWare's return to form. After it missed the mark with Mass Effect Andromeda, a game that I kinda liked, and really missed the mark with Anthem, another game that I also kinda liked, this is seemingly a return to the developer's roots with a big, colourful fantasy RPG where players can level up their class character, develop strong bonds with their team, and experience a multitude of settings in this storied world. It's set to launch on PS5 in fall of 2024, so we should hopefully have this one by October, November time, somewhere around there. Here's hoping at least. It's been silent so far from Embark Studios, at least at the time of recording, regarding its third-person PvPvE extraction shooter, Ark Raiders, but I'm holding out hope that we'll still see it this year, and we've heard nothing to contradict its held 2024 release date just yet. With the finals now out in the wild, hopefully we can see an eventual launch for this game, which was originally supposed to launch all the way back in 2022. It might not sound like the most original idea in the world, but Embark Studios' The Finals is genuinely one of my favourite shooters in recent years, so I'm really excited to see what they cook up with Ark Raiders. The Weird and the Wonderful Baby Steps is an odd little indie coming to PS5 in 2024, where you must control the wobbly limbs of a severely unbalanced individual across a variety of different terrains. From thick snow to slippery wooden walkways, this is one of those oddly comedic adventures that reminds me of Octodad's Adventure, if anyone remembers that game. It looks like a pretty memeable and fun time, so bring it on. City Skyline 2 was supposed to drop on PS5 last year, but was brutally delayed as Paradox Interactive felt it needed more time to achieve smoother performance for consoles. Coming up in a year since that delay, we still don't know exactly when this City Sim sequel is actually coming to PS5, but hopefully we are managing our own thriving metropolises before 2024 calls curtains. Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 is an action RPG set within a medieval civil war, and this game wants to immerse you in a brutal world as you forge a path from the blacksmith's forge to the court of kings. It's got an epic story in here that reacts and changes based on your decisions, some authentic hand-to-hand combat, and a dense open world for you to explore. It's coming to PS5 in late 2024. Had it not been leaked to death, this would have been a nice surprise. LEGO Horizon Adventures is a family-friendly LEGO game based in the world of robot dinosaurs, ancient but futuristic tribes, and a world filled with the old ruins of human civilization. This of course is taking a far more comedic approach to not just the world, but the characters in it like Aloy, and I think it's a nice way to introduce a younger audience to a vibrant world without the violence and dark themes found in the original games. This one is scheduled to come to PS5 and Nintendo Switch holiday 2024. The original Life is Strange developer Don't Nod is bringing us Lost Records, Bloom and Rage, a 90s mystery where a bunch of friends deal with the discovery they made as teens. We don't know too much beyond the fact that it'll move between the 90s and the modern day, where our cast of characters are adults of course, and it's going for some big VHS aesthetics and Stand By Me vibes. This one's coming to PS5 and will launch in late 2024. Vertical Games released the brilliant Arizona Sunshine 2 for the PSVR 2 last December, and now it's setting its sights on Metro Awakening. This is a full single-player experience set within the Metro universe, you know, Metro 2033, Last Light and Exodus, so you'll be creeping through dank subway systems and counting your bullets as you face off against bandits and horribly mutated creatures. Still just 2024 regarding the release date for this one, but hopefully we'll find out some more info on the release date soon. If you like your Diablo-style dungeon crawlers, you should keep your eye out for Path of Exile 2. In it, you'll journey through a deadly continent, battling corrupted abominations, whilst crafting up your own build across 12 character classes. Customization and immersion is the name of the game in this one, but you'll also be able to play it with friends in up to 6-player co-op. The most surprising thing though is that Path of Exile 2 is actually a free-to-play game, and it will be dropping into early access on the PS5 later this year. A remake of this 2015 horror classic wasn't quite what anyone expected this year, but it's coming to PS5 and PC in 2024. I'm honestly a bit surprised we haven't had a release date at the time of recording, especially since it showed its face again at the last State of Play. This remake is being developed by Ballistic Moon and not the original developers Supermassive Games. It's supposedly donning a third-person perspective rather than the fixed camera angles in the original, but it looks visually pretty similar, I have to say, from what we've seen, but it is still a sharper version of what is a really solid game that utilised some great DualShock tech on PS4. Metal Gear Solid 3 Snake Eater is a built from the ground up remake of the 2004 Konami classic. This is making a point of letting us know that it's the same story, the same world, just enhanced with all new graphics and audio. It's using Unreal Engine 5, so it does look gorgeous, and you can really sense that density of the jungle. It'll be interesting though to see if it loses some of its charm with those sharper graphics, but fingers crossed that's not the case when it launches on PS5 later this year. And there you have it, 31 games heading to PS5 in 2024. Please let me know down below which of these you are most looking forward to. I didn't expect it to be, but Life is Strange is really up there for me. I'm really looking forward to that one. But anyway, if you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like and even subscribing to the channel for more PlayStation video content. And until next time, I've been Aiden, and this has been Push Square.